Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo and Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys and you wonderful ladies, this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up those football gods. How are you on this Monday? You know, I used to hate Mondays, but because of doing the Benet Emery show many years ago, getting my real start in doing really YouTube and things, I started looking forward to Mondays because that's when we had our show. And I'm especially looking forward to this Monday because this is the beginning of legal tampering here on the NFL. And come Wednesday, it's Happy New Year, the NFL New Year. And we've got all kinds of stuff that's going on. We know Drew Brees retired. He ended up restructuring his deal, basically, so they ended up getting a $1 million hit. And here's what's kind of crazy to me, because it was Dak Prescott all the time about his contract. You know, he signed that 4-year, $160 million contract, and people lost their minds. It was crazy. You can't win. You're going to screw up the salary cap. You won't be able to put players on the field and yada, yada, yada. Well, New Orleans has some quarterback issues right now that Drew Brees is retired. We have Jameis Winston, who is restructuring his contract right now, working on an extension. They're working on an extension for him, but that does not guarantee him starting position. So they're working on a long-term deal with him. Then we have something that didn't even make a blip on the radar. Did you know that Taysom Hill signed a $140 million extension with the Saints? $140 million for Inspector Gadget, a gadget player. Dak Prescott, $160 million. 160, people lose their mind. Taysom Hill, $140 million. Here's the catch. This is the new NFL. This is like a tax shelter, so to speak, to hide your money so you don't get taxed on it, like an offshore account. What this is the way NFL teams are doing business now. I remember sitting right here listening to people say Dak Prescott is going to go because the Cowboys don't have cap space to keep him. We only have $17 million of cap room. How can you franchise tag him at 37 or get a long-term deal? It'll cost $30 million a year, for a long-term deal or something like that for the first year. And I kept saying, you can do whatever you like. You can have whatever you like. Yeah. When it comes to the salary cap. Yes, it's a number of $182.5 million. But you can manipulate the numbers however you like. And this is exactly what the Saints just did. See, the Saints, let's go over here. Over the cap. See, the Saints signed Taysom Hill last year to a $21 million contract. They gave him $17 million guaranteed. So what they just did was they added 4 years to the contract, $140 million. But here's the catch. The catch is all 4 years are voidable. What it enabled them to do was to take 2.25, switch cameras here, 2.25, and put it in 2022, 2.25, 2023, 2.25, in 2024, and 2.25 in 2025. Wow. They were able to spread out that money and get themselves $7.5 million of cap space. Now, the catch, of course, being is if it ends up being that he gets cut, then you take that hit, but you'll take the hit down the road. So if he doesn't make the team in 22, then they got an $8.9 million hit and so on, and it drops down, you know, precipitously. And if you are looking at this from the standpoint of saying that, yeah, this year is just a screwed up year, then we can go ahead and take the hit later on when the salary cap's going to rise. But this gives us now breathing room to make some moves. Brilliant. Cowboys did the same thing with Dak Prescott. They added 2 more years. Dak Prescott, it's a 4-year deal, but really it's a 6-year deal. But it's 2 years of it's, voidable. This is the new thing that teams are doing in this year of a reduced salary cap. It is kicking it down the road, but it is getting you in there now, knowing that things are going to improve. So, with that being said, for all those naysayers that say the Dallas Cowboys, they're screwed up in the salary cap. They can't pay Dak Prescott. We're screwed. We're messed up. But
I say it again. You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. This is what he does.
You can do anything you want to. So don't let Stephen Jones tell you that Dak needed to leave money on the table so we can do things in free agency. If the Cowboys want to do something, they can. And now is the time. We'll find out, because this week is the week that typically you do not see the Dallas Cowboys doing anything in free agency. They're asleep at the wheel. The lights are off at the office. They wait till the dust to clear, and then we'll see what's left over. But unfortunately for the Cowboys, that has not worked when you've had holes. And believe me, our defense is like a block of Swiss cheese. We need some help, more than what we can get just in the draft. So I'm hoping and praying that the Cowboys start making some moves. Some notable things. I mean, when you start looking around the NFL with free agency, there's teams that really need some help. Right now, you look at Kansas City, a team that has been, built well, and regardless of people saying that, you got to put great players around Dak Prescott to win the Super Bowl. Well, I dare say that there were great players that were around Pat Mahomes when they won the Super Bowl, and there were great players around Pat Mahomes the second time, and they didn't win the Super Bowl. And you look now in their offensive line, the 2 tackles were injuries and not sure that they would be able to play next year with a tore Achilles tendon and stuff. They're gone. And there's questions with their center. They need help, probably in free agency on the offensive line, to take care of their $500 million quarterback. You look at it now, Sam Darnold. Is Sam Darnold going to be the quarterback of the Jets? Is he going to get traded? We still have Russell Wilson, who may or may not want to get out of town. And the Bears, who we need a quarterback. They've talked about Carson Wentz. They looked at that. Matthew Stafford. Deshaun Watson, who's like a character from Get Out. And they're teams that feel like we're close, like the Washington football team, another team that's quarterback needy. So free agency, you're going to have the aspirational teams that are going to dig deep and try to win right now. And then you've got the other ones that are, let's see what we can do in the draft. Buyers and sellers. And it's going to be fun to watch. I'm wondering, are the Cowboys going to be buyers? We have our own free agents that we've done nothing with. Aldon Smith. I like Aldon Smith. I think he did great. Question is how much money will he demand in the free agent market? We have our whole secondary. Xavier Woods. Jordan Lewis. Awuzie. Those guys stay. There's Tyrone Crawford. There's Joe Looney. And thus far, the only signing that we have is Dak Prescott. So I'm assuming that the Cowboys are going to let them test the market and see what the market's going to look like and keep in contact with those guys that they deem ones they want to keep. This is going to be a year like none other. But hey, we got plenty to talk about. Let me give a shout out to everybody who checked out our very first interview in the new set. We had Philly 500, who's delusional, who believes the Eagles will win the NFC East next year. Yeah, but that's not the important part. The important part of it was actually the new set is beginning to shape up. I still have a lot of work and stuff to do, but I thank everybody who has been there and been part of helping me get this thing together. We'll be, of course, still continuing to grow as we build towards the draft, which is only 46 days away. Wow. And I hope you guys tune in tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, for our live stream. It'll get lively, and we'll keep you up to date with any of the breaking news that's going on with the NFL in free agency. I'm Mark Holmes, and man, do I love Mondays. I will see you later.